In this video we will learn about the non-runner trick. This is an advanced exchange trading technique that preys on both keen and slow to update bots. This technique is very profitable but does come with its own risks. There are two ways that this technique can be applied, the lay to back method or the BacktoLie method. We shall start with the lay to back method, which unfortunately no longer works, but it will help with understanding. For this technique you needed accounts with Matchbook and Betfair exchanges. Now when there was a non-runner with a sizable reduction, Betfair would remove the horse and adjust its prices accordingly. Meanwhile, the bots on the Matchbook market would think that these horses had just shortened in price, and would blindly adjust to the lower prices while still having the non-runner still listed. This meant that any prices that were matched were still subject to the non-runner reduction. Let's take a look at an example of this. This screenshot was taken of the 7:20 Lingfield on the 9th of June 2018. Crafty Madam has been removed from Betfair with a 22.2% reduction, but it is still listed as running on Matchbook. You can see that the prices on Matchbook are within a few ticks of Betfair's, and what is more, these prices are still subject to a 22.2% reduction. So to take advantage of this, you would trade as much as possible between Matchbook and Betfair before the non-runner was removed. Obviously, you'll be backing with Betfair and laying on Matchbook, as your lay will be shortening once the reduction factor is applied. This can make for some very big arbs and therefore a very large return. However, as mentioned at the start of this video, there are some risks. Firstly, if you've watched our previous videos, you may recall the mention of a clearly erroneous bets policy. What this does is void any bets that have been matched far beyond the true market price. Matchbook operates at a 10% fairness price, so any prices matched more than 10% outside the true price can potentially become void. This 10% works in terms of probability, and so the true price must be converted into a percentage to determine the limits. It is important to familiarise yourself with this policy, as after the reduction factor has been applied, you run the risk of having a lay outside the fair price range. Here is an email that was received stating that our lays on the 5 o'clock Southwell race on the 2nd of March 2018 were void, as they were matched outside the fair price range. However, with a little math, you can work out the fair price limit and avoid your bets from being voided. The second risk is that these over-keen bots are owned and operated by Matchbook, and they are not happy with you taking money from them. Therefore, continued application of this technique can result in your account becoming temporarily suspended and a warning issued. We will now look at some example trades that have benefited from the application of this technique. This is the 9:15 at Kempton on the 18th of April 2018. There were two non-runners, Haraz with a 12.1% reduction and Ubia with a 23.8% reduction. A trade was made on Tiger Wolf, Insha and Kryptonite during the removal of the non-runner, which resulted in a profit of £310 on the win of Tiger Wolf. In the 8:30 Dundalk on the 18th of April 2018, a similar trade was made, but here a profit of £180 was guaranteed by trading out on both exchanges. The same was done in the 7:55 Ferryhouse race on the 19th of April 2018 for a profit of £340. Unfortunately, the lay to back method no longer works, as Matchbook now suspends the market at the first mention of a non-runner. The other way to apply this technique is the BacktoLie method. This method can still work and can potentially be even more profitable. For this technique, you will need accounts with the Smarkets and Betfair exchanges. Back bets will instead be placed with Smarkets and lay bets with Betfair. However, instead of relying on over-keen bots, we rely on slow to update bots. This is done by placing a large back bet on Smarkets at the original trade price as soon as the non-runner has been pulled. We then hope to get as much matched as possible and then lay off the bet immediately on Betfair. Here's an example, the 320 market Rasen on the 22nd of June 2018. Manila Rewards was a non-runner with a 56.18% reduction. As soon as it was pulled, a large bet was matched at Smarkets on Mr. Miyagi at the original price. The bet was laid off on the Betfair exchange at the reduced price, and a £170 profit was made. Of course, you don't have to lay on Betfair. You can always wait and lay out your trades on Smarkets. This is what was done in this example on the 320 Cartmel on the 29th of June 2018, where a profit of £1,000 was made. The BacktoLie method is not as risky as the lay to back method. This is because Smarkets does not own the bots that operate on its markets, and so will not suspend your account for abusing it. Also, although they have a clearly erroneous bets policy, it is rarely an issue as they have a far more lenient 15% fairness range. With both these techniques relying on non-runners occurring, how do we know when there is a non-runner due? Well, declared non-runners are announced on the official websites before they are removed at the exchange and bookmakers. Non-runners for the UK races are announced on the BHA website, and for Irish races they are announced on the IHRB website. To find the reduction percentage, you need only look up the horse on the Betfair exchange and open up its trading statistics. Finally, to conclude this video, here is one more example. This is the 250 Cheltenham on the 15th of March 2018. Word had spread that Duvan could possibly be a non-runner. Well, we were well prepared for this. We managed to back Underscore and Q-Card on Smarkets as soon as Duvan was pulled. On top of this, we laid on Matchbook before it was pulled, resulting in 2 large ARBs and a profit of £350 from Balco des Floss winning. If you like this video, then please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe with the subscribe button below.